Welcome to Atlanta Tarot. This is the tarot forecast for Aries for the month of October 2023. So Aries, we're in the zodiac sign of Libra, which is your polar opposite sign. And you are in your 7th house, and it's all about your relationships this 4 weeks. So let's have a look and see what that brings up for you in the relationships. The energy is the Nine of Wands, so something might be sort of had been a bit exhausting recently in terms of relationships, getting somewhere, feeling like you're not getting somewhere, but you just have to get over that line, Aries, so keep on pushing. We'll see why in the next 10 cards of the story. Okay, Nine of Wands, getting over the finish line basically. Action wands, remember? So where you are right now. 10 of Wands. You've taken on too much as usual, fire sign Aries. Yeah, a bit sort of a lot going on. Spread yourself a bit thin. Your energy's sort of at a very red flashing light area, so it's time to sort of have a rest. 10 of Wands always says, right, that's it. You've come to the end of the road. You've lost all your energy, and now it's time to just chill out. Get that energy back. Let's see what's influenced that to come in and the rest of the reading. The Hierophant. Hierophant, major card, major work. So it's all about trusting that moral compass. It's sort of faith in a way. It's like the modern day religion of faith in oneself. Knowing that you have to sort of trust your own judgment, trust your own gut to get where you're going, to get the results you want in accordance to how you live yourself. It has a lot to do with sort of tradition as well, the Hierophant. It's more like, but in that way, I just feel like your own tradition, how you feel things should pan out. So this obviously is talking about relationships. So it's like if it isn't panning out, it's time to do something. If it's exhausted you, it's time to do something. Big card, big influence. Excuse me. The background, so we're looking at August, September. And we have the Fool, so new beginnings coming in. Jumping off that cliff, taking a new path, starting a new book, literally. And having that, and Aries, this is a good one for you guys because it's also a big card, so major work. So it's time to just jump and see where you land, learn new things, do things differently. It's time just to do that, and this has been hanging over you for the last 4 weeks, I would say, and probably before that. So really, if you've been planning or feeling like, oh, it's time for a change, I've got to do something new, I've got to do things differently, now's the time to do it. It's still there, it still has effect. So use that to move on. If anything is stuck, it's time for a new adventure and a new book, basically. Recent influences, we have the 10 of Swords, so the end of a difficult period. So once again, it's ramping up to look like something has been very much on your mind. As you know, Aries, Swords energy, and we are in the time of Swords energy with Libra. Swords energy is all about that overthinking energy of the mind, listening to other people, what they say, not trusting your own judgment, not as the Hierophant asks you to, and just feeling like, oh, everything's stacked against me. But the 10 of Swords is good because it sort of says to you that that story is coming to an end, but it sort of asks you not to kind of, just trust yourself. Don't get into your head too much, Aries, because it messes with The Swords cards often mess with the fire signs because they're all about movement forward and action, whereas Swords are very much, it's like windy days. It's like this way, that way, every which way but loose, and it just somehow can send one, or feel like one feels insane, because we keep going back to the mind sort of trying to control stuff. So that's coming to an end. Let's see the lesson you'll be learning. The Ten of Cups. So the happiness, is this not the card that everyone wants to get emotionally? The emotional happiness. So that's what you have to sort of learn about this month. If relationships aren't bringing you that, and they're just bringing you a mind mess, or messing with your mind, it's time to sort of say, well, that isn't my Ten of Cups. It's not what I sort of envisage for myself emotionally. So going back to trusting yourself with this Hierophant here, who's really very powerful, and the new books or new adventures to begin with. This is the time to cast off those relationships which really are mind messes, and they're like, it's not doing you any good because it's constantly holding you up, dragging and literally taking your energy, your great Aries fire energy off you. It sort of drains you. Let's see what's in the near future. Seven of Swords. Excuse me. And so once again, Seven of Swords, deceit. Now, are you deceiving yourself or someone deceiving you? So this comes in the near future. So the first week of October, I'm feeling, because once again it's a Swords card, so it belongs to Libra, that air energy. So once again, you'll work it out whether it's you that's deceiving yourself, or there are people or a person that's actually deceiving you and lying to you, and not sort of being upfront, but making a lot of trouble in your mind, you know, just troubling and constantly second guessing yourself. So that will come to fruition in the first week of October, I'm thinking. So just beware of that. Now we'll have a look down here at the seventh position, always the key position, Aries, where we need to, this is what's hiding from us, that's glaringly obvious, but we're not seeing it. And that is the Two of Cups, soulmate energy. So maybe that what you thought was a soulmate, that situation has now come to its close. Could be one way of looking at it. We have to use the conditional here, could be, would be, should be. That's one way of looking at it. Or this is still an ongoing relationship that you kind of have not fully learnt yet, as in the Seven of Swords. So you've got to work out who's fooling who, who's deceiving who. Is it indeed you, or is it somebody else? But it's very much soulmate connected. So this is somebody very much that once upon a time, or at the beginning, or still ongoing, that you really trusted and felt like, oh, this is it. Okay, let's see. Sorry, frog in my throat. Let's see how others see you. Nine of Pentacles, very independent. Now this is telling. This is the card of sheer independent, an independent person. Female, male, doesn't matter which or however, but it's very independent, very determined, doing things on their own way, very Aries sounding, you know, they're very independent people. They don't like people sort of barging in on their stuff and telling them how to do things. They just don't like it. And then that sort of brings them back to sort of suspicion and the Swords energy. It's like, well, what's going on? I'm a very independent person. And then sometimes we have people, even though they are soulmates, that can perhaps, or you may feel like they're undermining you, your independence, undermining your way of doing things. So that's something really great to think about. It's great to be seen as that, and I would value that very much, as how others' opinions of you, rather than thinking, oh, just go back to the swords and go, well, okay, who is it? Is it me or is it them? But it's a very favourable card nevertheless for independence and getting on and being established, all those things that we actually strive for in this life. So well done, Aries. It's a nice card, and obviously, hopefully it sort of resonates with you and where you're going, and just to trust yourself more than anybody else in the 7th house of relationships. Let's now look at what you're feeling positive about. Page of Pentacles, of course. So Page of Pentacles is the feed and grow. It's new energy coming in. It's something really sort of stable that you're wanting to plant, that seed of stability to grow something for yourself, something of worth for yourself, new projects, things like that, that you need to sort of, you need to do that to make yourself feel like, okay, I'm going to put all the energy into that. I'm not going to be sitting around wallowing in my head about what's going on in relationships. I need to kickstart that new project I've got coming in to really take the focus and sort of train your mind in a way too, to get away from all that overthinking stuff. So this would be the best way out, whatever that new project is that you're wanting to start. And also Page of Pentacles, of course, it's earthly, it's about material life, job, all that sort of thing, and this will bring moderate success for you if you want to do it in many ways than just the money. Pentacles are all about stability, really. The outcome. And we have the Page of Wands, so once again a new seedling card, talking about, you know, moving on, things really planting and growing very quickly. Good news coming to you with this as well, Page of Wands. Fast moving energy as well. It's your energy, the Wands energy, remember. So this is great. So new beginnings are there for you, and good news is on the horizon. If this is the way you track through the 4 weeks, it's definitely going to be, especially with this Page of Pentacles sitting in your positive feelings. You already know that that's a possibility. So maybe this is just a, you know, the Kickstarter. Now we'll just have a look. We'll get, I think we will put, because it's relationships, I think we'll put a clarifier on the lesson, the 10 of Cups, to see what's underneath that, reaching emotional happiness, and what that actually means to you and how you're meant to learn that lesson whatsoever. So let's get the book. So clarifying the 10 of Cups is the truth. 51, we don't really need to say much about that. Well, let's see what the Oracle says. Truth indeed, in word and deed, is what is required of you drawing this marker, as well as resonating with your own personal truth. It's important now to also demand the same from others. In every person, there's a vibrant energy that's accessible by slowing down and searching within to inquire. Is this real? Am I hearing truth from another, or is it a lie? Am I speaking honestly myself, or am I lying to manipulate circumstances to get what I want? Remember that even a white lie will cause your light to fade and lose power. A lie takes you down into the lower vibration of the ego world, ruled by separation and limitation, and it's seduction of the lower world that serves no one but forces of darkness. This marker reminds you to remain in the light, even if it seems like a more difficult path. Truth will build a bridge across a chasm. Truth will lend a magic wand of strength and integrity. Truth is freedom. How does that work out for you? I think that's a brilliant card, especially when we look at that 7 of Swords and the Hierophant. It's your truth that matters, and you know what it is. So thank you very much for listening, Aries. Have a great 4 weeks.